Correspondent James Kalm, the guy on the bike, and it's 7:45 on a Thursday night. We're in Chelsea. We've got what I think should be a very interesting exhibition here at the Kasmin Gallery. And quick stroll through of Brancusi and Duchamp, The Art of Dialogue. Well, I was scanning the art opening websites, and they were pretty slim pickings, but I happened to see this and decided that sounded like an interesting and very historical exhibition. Now, I guess it was 2 or 3 years ago we came in and they'd organized an exhibition featuring Brancusi and the Minimalists. But I think this should be great because a lot of people don't understand or are not aware of the relationship that Constantine Brancusi and Marcel Duchamp had. Well, we're going to start out looking at this beautiful piece. This is a portrait of Nancy Cunard, a sophisticated young lady, 1928 to 1932. Okay, this is funny because I heard someone come over and look at this and say, oh gee, this is like Jeff Koons. But one of the things that Brancusi did was he started working with this kind of polished surfaces on his sculpture, and nobody had actually done that before, and it's almost kind of industrial finish. Now we're just going to scan down this wall of photographs. This is Marcel Duchamp. Oh, and he's got the little sculpture, at least a version of it, that looks like it's wood behind him. Well, I was talking about the relationship, and one of the things is that Duchamp actually represented Brancusi and sold his work. This is titled Stool. I think Brancusi is maybe one of the most important and influential sculptors of the 20th century. This is made out of oak. Well, they've got the show divided up into little sections. Each one of them has a title. The objectness of things, sculpture as object. Well, here's a copy of The Blind Man. It's a little magazine that Duchamp organized and published. Bullet Secret with Hidden Noise. etching. Hold at 4 pins. Interesting photographs of the endless column. You know, a lot of people don't realize that also Carl Andre was very much influenced by Brancusi. Maybe his most famous piece, Untitled Fountain, a piece that never really was exhibited, and it only existed as a photograph about 50 years until they reconstructed it. It's another beautiful Brancusi, The Newborn. Photography and ephemera. This is a couple of laundress's aprons, 1959. Imitated, rectified ready-mades, 2 pot holders, male and female, cloth, fur, and adhesive tape. Brancusi, portrait of a woman. Poco colored collier type with French 517 review stamp. Rare. We got a nice nude with black stockings, 1910, by the young Marcel. Brancusi. Celevé. Long before Jasper Johns did his face casts and casts of body parts that were in one of his target paintings, Marcel Duchamp did this body cast. It's titled Female Fig Leaf, 1950 to 51. Painted plaster. this is Princess X. Polished bronze. It's an edition of 3. And I think it's also important to mention the fact that Brancusi also spent a lot of time designing the bases for these. Artist is custodian and curator of his work. This is maybe one of the greatest examples of multiples. This is the box in a valise. I heard it was called the green box in a valise, but this is where Duchamp actually have recorded and put a lot of his masterpieces or major works into a form that he could sell multiple versions of, and I think he might have sold subscriptions to this. It says it's from an unnumbered edition of 30. And a little reproduction of the large glass of the bride stripped bare by her bachelors even. Chocolate mill. More photos. Well, I like Kasmin's program here. He's been putting on some museum grade shows recently, which is always nice. 12 roto reliefs. Not only did Marcel come up with the idea of conceptual art, but he also did some of the first kinetic art. Let's go in and see some of the films. I believe that is Duchamp's voice narrating that. You know, you can go and search on YouTube and you can see a couple of interviews with him. He's a very urbane, approachable guy talking about his theories. This is titled Leda. 1926, polished bronze. Okay, I don't think Brancusi designed the rotating mirrored table, but it's a nice touch. Also interesting that they have a lot of photographs of the various versions of the sculptures. More ephemera and multiples. Marcel Duchamp's I regard her to be looked at from the other side of the glass with one eye closed for half an hour. Well, this is Duchamp's pocket chess set. Duchamp was a chess master, and people thought he actually gave up art for about 20 or 25 years and did nothing but play chess. But he was continuing to do things in secret in his studio. This might be an example of one of the first ready-mades. It's titled Trap. It's actually a coat rack that was bolted on the floor, and I guess he had it in his studio in Paris, and people would come in and trip over the hat rack. That's why I called it a trap. Place card for Henry Pierre Rocher. This has been nice. They are actually staying open after 8. It's 8:10. So we got a chance to get a little bit longer tour of this. James Kalm reporting on Brancusi and Duchamp. The Art of Dialogue. You can like this, share, subscribe, and you can leave your ideas, thoughts, critiques, and suggestions below. But what we always say at the end of these is, thank you, Kate. Wow, that was beautiful. Thank you. That was great. Thanks.